So there's not a lot of cameras that come out that I'm super eager to buy. Normally when I see a new camera comes out, I'm like, oh, that's a cool camera. I like the wow factor it has. That's super cool. I see what it makes it stand out. But most of the time, I'm not super eager to buy it. I'm always like, okay, I'll rent it to try it out, But there's never been one camera that has caused me to want to buy it now and become so impatient that I'm I itch because I need it. And that recently a camera did come out that has caused me to feel that way, and that is the Leica M EV1. Now, I know what you're thinking. What makes the Leica M EV1 so unique, so giving me this eagerness to buy it? And the reason why I don't have it now is because due to the government shutdown, the FCC is suspended, and they need the FCC to authorize a Wi-Fi chip. And this Wi-Fi chip is brand new. From what I've been told is that this Wi-Fi chip is not in any of the cameras that have been recently released. So that's why we've been seeing them kind of come in. They're using a standard old one. And I think that's why we've been seeing them kind of come in around this time, is because they realize if we do this, it's going to delay it. So that's what they're waiting for approval. I don't know how long it's going to take, because once the government reopens, it could take up to 180 days. It could take less. I don't know. It just depends on how backed up they are or how quick they can do it. So that's the only caveat of why I don't have it. But anyways, the Leica M EV1 is unique for one thing. And there are a few other things that does make it unique. But the one thing that kind of makes people be like, wow, that's an interesting way that Leica went. That's very unusual of them, especially for the M series. And that is because if you don't know anything about the Leica M series, the Leica M series are rangefinders. This is my M6. This is a film camera. And they've had a long history of building film cameras like this that are rangefinders. And what it is that rather than the subject going through the lens, hitting a mirror, and then being reflected into the viewfinder, it has there's two mirrors in here. The image goes through this little small square right here, if you can kind of see it. And then it goes from there, passes through, and then there's this white box. It's like a little square, and you'll see kind of an image, and then you'll see a ghost image. And what happens is that when you focus with the lens, those boxes start to line up, or the image within that box lines up, and then your image is in focus. So that's what makes a rangefinder. And for a very long time, rangefinders were only done through an optical viewfinder. Not saying it was impossible with an electric viewfinder, but it was just it almost defeated the purpose. And that's the thing what the Leica M EV1 did. It is technically the very first rangefinder with electric viewfinder. And it's, for some people, kind of controversial because you have people for a very long time who are accustomed to this rangefinder through an optical viewfinder, and then you have people who are open to this new idea. And some people say, well, it's no longer a rangefinder because now you can see how focused your image is, which is I think is kind of weird. And then some people are saying, well, it has to be, if only for it to be in rangefinder, it has to be with an optical viewfinder. Again, a ridiculous argument and statement. And the way I see it about that Leica M EV1 is that it offers two types of opportunity. First one is that if you have a history or a genetic history of bad vision as you get older, you can still shoot with that camera because you can now adjust that EVF to your vision. And two, for the older Leica M shooters who are obviously getting older as time progresses forward, this allows them to still stay within the M series, the rangefinders they probably grew up on, or the camera that they've loved since day one, stick within them as their vision could possibly get worse. So the way I see it is that Leica was like, let's solve a problem right now of losing M series shooters, or not introducing new M series shooters who may have a vision problem because we're sticking with an optical viewfinder. A lot of them don't come with an adjustment. The back is just a straight piece of glass that you just look through. So there's that whole thing. And then the second one is that it now opens the door for such wider focal lengths. So the thing about the Leica M series and some of the rangefinders, you can't shoot with a lot of focal lengths. Usually they're stick primarily with 35, 50, 75, a 90, and a 135, which is a whole case of lens. But you can't shoot wider for some cameras. You can't shoot wider than 35. There's a few 28s that people love. You can't shoot wide with that because the frame box inside your viewfinder in the Leica is kind of limits you to do that. You can buy an adapter that goes on top that gives you a wider view, but that's another piece of equipment that you have to buy. And then there's like some focal lengths, like 40 millimeters. I've seen some like Voigtlander lenses that are 40 millimeters that I think is really cool. I think it's a good focal, like a very unique focal length to have. You can now shoot with that because you're not limited to what the frame box can give you. And so like it's opening a whole new realm for new lenses for those who, you know, want to be introduced with newer, higher quality lenses. Even though Leica lenses are top notch already, it introduces more opportunities for, you know, a 40 millimeter, maybe a 70, a 60, or something unique. You know, obviously rangefinders, you're not shooting telephoto lenses on here. You're shooting stuff that's usually a prime, and it's usually open wide. And if you own one of these, you're either doing, you know, weddings, portraits, engagements, landscape, street photography. So you're not doing anything really close up net unless, you know, you're gonna risk yourself getting too really close to a bear. But that's my whole point, is that this really introduces a lot more into the Leica M series than, you know, what it's already used to now. When we talk about specs, the Leica M EV1 is a 60 megapixel sensor. It's a full frame sensor. It's back limited, so that means you're gonna get into less noise reduction in low light situations, which I think is really cool. I forgot what it's called, but it has a cool pixel binning where you can now like drop your resolution, and then you're gonna get a little bit better dynamic range. So at 60 megapixels, you're at 14 stops, that's correct, and you get high resolution. At 36 megapixels, you get 15 stops, but you get a balance of low light as well as still high resolution. And then at 18 megapixels, you get 15 stops and you get better low light performance. So if you're shooting street photography at night, you have, like I said, have better performance. Now that's really cool that the stops don't reduce. You still get 15, 15, and then the top is 14. So that means that you're gonna get a wider dynamic range at kind of a low res from your shadows to your highlights, which I think is really cool, because some cameras I've noticed, they do the opposite. So when you kind of go down in resolution size, the dynamic range declines. So this is kind of unfortunate. So, but this is kind of cool that they went this way. Now I know you're thinking, okay, so it's electric viewfinder. I know that the Leica rangefinders have the white frame boxes. It has the white center box to focus. Is that still in there? From what I've been told and read and seen some of the videos, it's still there. You still get your traditional frame boxes, and I think you can choose the option to have that traditional like ghost image overlapping. And I know the second one is that there is a focus magnification built in, so then you can now look into your subject to make sure, you know, the eyes are in focus, they're in focus, but it now has focus peaking built in. So other models have had focus peaking. This is just like another way they're doing it. And now that you have EVF, you can see it obviously through the viewfinder. You can have a focus peaking. The examples I've seen people use is that I think you could choose between colors, but right now I've seen red the most. It shows it perfectly, very bright, very vibrant, and I haven't heard any negativity about the focus peaking, excuse me, besides its delay. I've heard some people say there's a little tiny latency that you can recognize, but I think that's something that can be fixed in a firmware update down the road, so I'm not too worried about it. And I've heard people say that like about 90% of the times they're accurate, which is pretty good. If you shot with a rangefinder that is film or a M11 that is an optical viewfinder, sometimes your shots are not in focus, and you kind of like sitting there like, great, now I wasted a shot, or now I have to redo the shot if you're shooting on a digital camera. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, I really want to get my hands on it. I'm so eager to buy it. I have to wait though, and I hope I don't get buyer's remorse. I haven't seen anything negative about it. Everyone I've seen like on YouTube or wrote articles about or made posts about, they've been loving it. Some people say that, you know, this has caused me to love Leica more, or for those who's never shot Leicas before, they're like, I'm actually excited that this is the camera that's been introduced to me and the way I walk into the Leica M series. So I'm seeing a lot of positives. The negatives are just, you know, software stuff that can be fixed easily. But the one thing I know is that like Leica's very well known to be seen as like the rich man's camera, but everyone I ever met who I wouldn't say they're diehard fans, but they're diehard fans of photography, they're passionate about it. You know, they've never said anything bad about their Leica M or even their Leica Qs. They really see Leica's cameras, whether it's this M series or the Q series, it's just a way to reignite passion, or your passion, reignite your passion in your photography. I know the price is just crazy. The Leica M EV1 is priced at almost 9K with like the taxes, and they have cameras that are priced at 10 to 11K, and I know it's the price that's causing everyone to be like, oh God, like that's just a rich man's camera. But I think it's just one of those things where it's like you really are, you can buy it if you have the money and just want to be like, I own it. But if you really are someone who's very passionate about photography and you understand that Leica M lenses are quality glass, because Leica is an optical manufacturer in general. They used to make microscopes. They still do actually, but they understand how to make high-end optics, and their lenses are crazy good. And so just that paired with a digital sensor, a full frame at 60 megapixels, I can't imagine what those images look. And like I said, I'm eager to own one. I hope I don't get buyer's remorse about it, but it's it's something I think like I'm super excited about and can't wait to like I said, own one. But then that's like an EV1. It's M series, but it's a very unique approach to rangefinders. If you have, I want to hear your guys' comments down below. If you like it, if you don't like it, if you think it's just stupid expensive for no reason. I like hearing those. I like you guys telling me, being like, don't buy it, it's dumb. But I still probably will buy it. But yeah, hopefully I get my hands on it. I'm hoping soon. I hope eventually soon, because I would like to own it, do some work with it, and see how I feel about it, and then maybe sell it or keep it. Well, I don't know. Who knows? I know I'm always gonna keep this guy right here. It's my favorite camera, so I have no intentions on selling it. But anyways, comment down below what you think. What do you kind of hope for of it? Anyways, like and subscribe, and catch you guys in the next one.